some breathing exercises today. Now, these breathing exercises, and there's a Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches a version of this, and another gentleman by the name of Wim Hof teaches a version of this. And the goal in this breathing exercise that we're going to talk about today is to blow off as much carbon dioxide out of our system that we can possibly get it out. What that's going to do is that's going to cause the blood and the lymph and the fluid in our body to shift more alkaline. Now, very, very few pathogenic microbes can exist in a alkaline environment. So a lot of the reasons that we have as weak immune systems and dysfunctional immune systems, autoimmune type of things, allergies, those types of things. A big portion of that is there are many things in our society that push our body into more of an acidic state. So when we are pushing out as much carbon dioxide as we can, that causes our body to have a higher ratio of oxygen versus carbon dioxide. And whenever we're very, very oxygen rich, we use that oxygen and literally start to oxidize, or in a sense, rust the microbes that are in our body. So by doing some of these breathing exercises, Wim Hof has multiple different world records, and he's actually been studied out of, I believe, the Harvard Medical School, as one of the Ivy League medical schools. And basically what they did is, utilizing his methods, they injected him with botulism, very, very, very toxic microbe. And they were taking blood samples, and what they found is, by him focusing on this portion of his body, he was able to prevent his body from going into that symptomatic response that most people would have with botulism. And they did a follow-up study with some students that he trained, and many, not all, but many of his students could do the exact same thing. So what he showed is that we have the ability to directly influence our nervous system and our immune system by focusing on this type of breath work. Okay. The second thing that this does, and I'm gonna explain this, and then we're all gonna go through it. The second thing that this does is, this causes, at the very, very end, it causes us to build up a pressure in the cerebrospinal fluid that runs inside and surrounds our brain and our spinal cord. And by pushing all of the fluid up and by increasing the pressure on it, what we're doing is we're stimulating all of those piezoelectric, all of those piezoluminescent, which means literally generating electricity based off pressure, generating light and different forms of light in the color spectrum based on the pressure that we are putting onto different portions of our brain. So this is a really, really good way to drive nutrients deeper into the brain structures and literally push toxic components out of the brain structures, as well as stimulating certain brain structures which allow us to be more present here in this time and space. Some of the interesting, although a lot of it is anecdotal, but anecdotal evidence means that people had an experience, and if you have an experience, there's something to that experience. But a lot of the anecdotal evidence that's coming out about this type of work shows that it has a very, very massive and positive impact on conditions such as anxiety and depression, and things in which our mind gets driven too much into either the future or the past, in which we have really no control over. So bringing our presence, bringing our focus into the here and the now, allows us to be as efficient as we possibly can with the energy and the time that we have at our disposal. So we're going to do this real quick, but before we get into this, I do want to do kind of a hemispherical balancing exercise with this, so that when we're getting into the depths of this, we are going to be able to process this at much, much higher levels and stay with this, because this exercise is going to make you feel very physically different. And whenever we first start to feel very physically different, it is disruptive. And because the survival portions of our brain want to keep things the same, when we start to disrupt it and we start to feel something physically different, sometimes we can be pushed into anxiety, which is, oh no, I don't know if I can keep up with this. So I want to let you know and warn you ahead of time, you will feel this. You will get into deeper levels of awareness and meditative state than most people do, even with years worth of practice. And because we're going so deep, so fast, it is going to be disruptive. And that disruptiveness may be experienced as discomfort. But what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to push through that discomfort, not with intensity. It's not like, I'm going to make this happen. It's, yes, I feel this weird thing, and I'm going to keep going. I'm going to stay present. I'm going to stay with this exercise, not intensely, but determined and with resolve to see this through towards the end. Okay, you do not need to use a lot of effort into this, but I am going to ask you to use your willpower to say, I'm not going to stop. I may need to change it a little bit, but I'm going to keep going until the very, very end and experience all that this has to offer, even though, like I said, your body is going to feel very different. Okay. So before we get into the hemispherical balancing, what I'm going to ask you to do, and just listen right now. Okay, is what we're going to do is we're going to lay down and we're going to breathe as fully as we possibly can. Okay, all the way in, experiencing the full breath, the full expansion. You are going to push a little bit into this. And then as you exhale, you are going to experience the full exhale and the full release. So we want to get the fullness of breath as much as we possibly can, not straining, but really making sure that we are getting it all the way in and that we are compressing and getting it all the way out. So this is going to be a little bit different than SRI. In SRI, we really want to experience that drop in and that release. Here, we want to experience the fullness of the exhale, which might mean you need to squeeze a little bit. You need to tighten up just a little bit. Again, not effort, but really getting in there. Okay, can I get all of the air out? Can I get all of the contraction to happen? Can I get all of the air in? Can I get all of the expanse to happen? Okay, so in this, we're going to go through quite a few rounds of this full inhale, full exhale, full inhale, full exhale, feeling that throughout the entire body, like you're inhaling from your toes to your nose, from the head all the way down to the feet. Okay, we're going to do that quite a few rounds. And then I'm going to ask you to breathe all of the air out and then hold it out. Okay. And I'm going to ask you to do your best to hold all of the air out for a lot longer than you think you can. Okay. Now there's a portion of your brain that reptilian, that lizard brain, that's going to say, oh no, I'm going to die. I'm going to die if I don't get air in. Okay. Whenever this happens, there's going to be that urge and that charge. And when that comes in, I'm going to ask that your response be to relax deeper and to let go even more. Okay. And there is going to be a point, because I'm going to ask you to do this for way longer than most of you are going to be able to do this. Okay. But I'm going to ask you to do it for as absolute long as you physically can, knowing that your body is going to tell you this is bad. I can't do this. And you're going to relax and you're going to relax and you're going to relax until you reach that point where you literally can't do it anymore. You're going to take a big deep breath in and then blow it out, and then just keep going. Okay, holding it out until I tell you it's the end of this. Okay, if you do this on a regular enough basis, you will be able to hold your breath for between 2 to 5 minutes. That's where Wim Hof has been able to get the average person. So that is a really long time to hold your breath. Most of us have not practiced this enough times to get to that period. So I'm not going to say don't force yourself into it, but hold out for as long as you can. Breathe in, breathe out, and then keep going until the end of this. Okay. And at the end of this, then I'm going to tell you to take a huge, big, deep breath in and now hold it in. And as you're holding it in, you are going to tighten the muscles at the very, very bottom of your pelvis. Okay. The muscles that you would tighten to hold back going to the bathroom. That's going to be your intrinsic pelvic muscles. Then you're going to tighten your lower abdominal muscles. And then you're going to tighten your upper abdominal muscles. And as you're holding the breath in, you are going to squeeze those muscles tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter until I tell you to exhale. Now, I'm not going to have you hold the breath in for nearly as long as I'm asked you to hold the breath out. So that's something that everybody can do. But it's really about the squeezing of those muscles to build up that pressure in the cerebrospinal fluid in order to make these shifts in the brain. Okay. And then after that, we're going to go back to the rounds of breathing fully in and fully out. Okay. And we're going to do this for 3 total rounds, or 3 complete flow throughs of each section of this: the full inhale and exhale, the exhaling and holding the breath, and really acknowledging and relaxing into the body's tensing up because it's trying to stimulate you to take a breath in, and then into the holding the breath in while we squeeze all of those muscles all the way up to the very, very top of the head. And every round, every successive round that we do this, the body sensations are going to get more and more intense. Some of those sensations, you can get tingly, you can kind of almost get numb. It can kind of feel like your body is like this like weird cloud thing where you're having trouble recognizing where your body ends and the space around you begins. So a lot of different sensations can come up. And a lot of these sensations have to do with the alkalizing of the body, with the extreme amount of oxygen that's going to be built up in our system, compared to the very low amount of carbon dioxide that's in there. So as we're starting to do this, again, I'm just going to remind you, you will feel very, very differently in this. Don't get concerned about that. Lean into that feeling. Allow that feeling to be here. Relax deeper into that feeling, because again, we will not get to extraordinary living and changing and healing by going through by going through ordinary experiences. We want to create an extraordinary experience, but that is going to be disruptive, and sometimes our limbic system or our survival brain can take that and be afraid of it. So there's nothing dangerous about this. You don't need to be super concerned, but like I said, your feelings will change, your sensations will change. Know that ahead of time. Okay. So what I would like to start off doing is I would like to start off with that cross crawl exercise. Rut row.
I can see you now. It just froze for a
Okay.
second.
Yep. My cord came out. Okay, so I would like to start off with the cross crawl exercise that we learned. This one's going to be involving a breath holding, and then we're going to do one of the cross crawls that Connie taught us a couple of days ago, and then we will dive into the breathing exercise. So find some space that you can kind of spread your legs out with, that you can get into a lunging type position. Okay, we're going to turn or just stay right where you are. Okay, we're going to all lead with our right leg. We're going to put our right leg forward into a lunging position, our right knee bent, the left leg behind us, knee straight, heels on the ground, all of our weight on the balls of our feet and our heels, so that we could lift up our toes. Our toes are not scrunching in. Okay, we're pushing down into the ground with our feet. Now we're going to take our left arm and we're going to put our left arm right out in front of us, palm down, our right arm behind us, palm down. We're going to tilt our head so that we're putting our left ear to our left shoulder. We're going to close our right eye and we're going to look directly down our arm like we're sighting in between our pointer and our middle finger. We're going to take a big deep breath in, hold that breath, stretch the arms forward and backwards, stretch the legs forward and backwards, stretch the head off to the right, stretch and hold the breath, stretch and hold the breath, stretch and hold the breath, stretch and hold the breath until you can't hold it anymore. Stretch, 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 and then let it go. And now pivot, shift over to the opposite side, so that our left leg is in front, knee bent, right leg is straight behind, right arm out in front of us, palm down, left arm out behind us, palm down. Tilt the head towards the right side, right ear to right shoulder. Close the left eye so that we're looking between our middle and index finger. Take a big deep breath in, all the way in. Hold that breath. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Stretch the body. Stretch the legs away from each other. Stretch the arms away from each other. Stretch the chest, stretch the hips, stretch the pelvis. Stretch, hold the breath. Hold it, stretch and 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 hold it. Until you can't hold it anymore, and then let it go and shift off to the opposite side. Okay, right leg in front, knee bent, left leg behind, knee straight, left arm in front, palm down, right arm as high up behind as you can. Tilt the head to the left side, left ear to left shoulder. Close the right eye, look down the arm. Take a big deep breath in. Hold the breath and stretch the left arm forward, stretch the right arm backward, stretch the right leg forward, stretch the left leg backward, stretch and hold, stretch and hold, stretch the neck off to the left side, stretch and hold, 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 and let it go and pivot off to the opposite side. Left leg in front, knee bent, right leg behind, knee straight, right arm out in front, left arm behind, palm down. Tilt the head towards the right side. Close the left eye. Big deep breath in, hold the breath and stretch and stretch and stretch and stretch the right arm forward, stretch the left arm back, stretch the left leg forward, stretch the right leg back, stretch the neck to the right side, stretch all through the torso, all through the head, stretch and hold, stretch and hold, stretch and hold, and let it go. Last time, pivot off to the opposite side, right leg in front, left leg behind, left arm in front, right arm behind, palm down. Tilt the head to the left ear on top of the left shoulder. Close the right eye. Take a big deep breath in, looking down the arm, and stretch. And stretch, holding the breath, and stretch and stretch and stretch and hold the breath and stretch and hold and stretch more, stretch all of it. Give it all you got. Give it all you got until you can't hold your breath anymore. And then let it go. And last time, pivot off to the opposite side. Left leg in front, knee bent, right leg behind, knee straight, right arm in front, palm down, left arm behind, palm down. Tilt the head so that the right ear is touching the right shoulder. Close the left eye. Looking down the arm, take a big deep breath in, last one, and stretch the right arm forward, stretch the left arm backwards, turn the upper half of the body towards the left side, stretch the left leg forward, stretch the right leg behind, turn the pelvis off to the right side, stretch the neck off to the right side, holding and stretching, you can't hold it anymore, and then let it go. Okay, now everybody find a comfortable place to lay down. You could do this sitting. I would not recommend do it sitting. And I definitely would not recommend doing it standing. As a matter of fact, I'm going to ask you not to do it standing. So find a place that you can relax. If you're going to sit down, please sit down up against a very, very straight, like you're kind of sitting straight back up against a wall. But ideally, find a place that you can lay down, that you can let your arms drop alongside of you, that you can let your legs be completely flat out in front of you. Although it is okay to bend your knees if you want to. If your lower back is an issue, you can kind of place a pillow up underneath your knees to prop them up. So just find a place in space that you can just totally let go, because we are going to go very, very deep with this. We're going to use a lot of the stimulus from our body to blast our thinking mind way, way farther out than most of us are letting it go on a regular basis. Okay, so when you are ready, just check in, feel the space around the physical body, feel the space inside the physical body. Acknowledge and be aware of the space of the thoughts. Acknowledge and be aware of the space of the emotions. Just check in, not judging, not labeling, just checking in on what is. Breathing in the nose and out the mouth. Just being. Okay. In the beginning of this, breathing in the nose and out the mouth is totally going to work. As you go through this, you might notice your breathing changing. You might notice you're starting to breathe in the mouth and out the mouth, and that's totally fine. You might notice yourself breathing in the nose and out the nose, and that's totally fine. But for right now, when we're tuning in, just breathe in the nose and out the mouth. Remind yourself that you're doing this not only to improve the function of your mind and your body, but to also add energy into the collective space, into the field between us, that allows the collective or the whole to start to make a shift also. So this exercise is going to take some resolve. It is going to take some determination. And you can do this for yourself, or you can do this for humanity, or you can do this for a particular part of humanity that you really love and energizes you. Whatever you need to do to find that deeper place of determination and resolve. Tune into that space. And now let's go ahead and get started. Breathe all the way in, completely in, and all the way out, completely out. Feel it throughout your entire body, all the way in and all the way out with determination, all the way in from toes to nose and all the way out, pushing all of the air out of the body, and all the way in, completely in, and all the way out, fully out, and and all the way in and all the way out completely. and all the way in, feeling it throughout the entire body and all the way out completely. All the way in, fully drawing in all that space and all the way out. All of the air in the room rushing into the body with the inhale. All the air in the room rushing out of the body with the exhale. All of the space flowing into the body. All of the space rushing back out into the universe. All the way in, fully and deeply, all the way out, completely, all the way in and all the way out. We're going deep on this one. Complete, full experience all the way out. Keep going, allowing the body to completely fill up, allowing the body to totally empty. Bring in that resolve right now. Keep going all the way out, all the way in, fully experiencing all the way out. Don't let the body be in control. All the way in and all the way out. We're transcending all of the subconscious programming that keeps us locked into those old patterns. All the way in, completely, all the way out. Keep going all the way in and all the way out. We're halfway there. Keep going all the way in and all the way out and all the way in and all the way out, filling up every cell of your body and pushing all of the air out of every cell of the body. Keep going all the way in and all the way out and all the way in and all the way out and all the way in and all the way out. Just a few more, all the way in and all the way out and all the way in. Last one, all the way out, all out, all out. Push it all out, push it all out, and then hold it. Hold it. Keep holding it. Recognize that the body is going to tell you that it needs something. Those survival instincts are going to pop up. They're going to try to convince you. They're going to bring in a lot of tension in the body. Feel that tension as it arises, still holding, allowing no air to come in. As long as you can, every time the sensation comes in, every time the tension comes in, every time that angst comes in, relax deeper and deeper. Let go of more and more parts of your body. Just acknowledge that there's an old pattern, there's an old portion of your brain. This portion of your brain's job is to keep you alive. This portion of the brain is what we rely on when we're sleeping, so we don't have to constantly think about all our body functions. But right now, we're going to show this part of us that we can be in control, that we can be trusted to know where the limits of the body are, relaxing deeper and deeper every time that that tension comes up, every time the body wants to move, every time the body wants to breathe, every time that the body tries to struggle, just letting go, showing the body that it's not tension that's going to save us. Letting go, holding the breath out for as long as we possibly can. In the future, if you start to time yourself, you'll notice that you will be holding your breath for minutes at a time. Even this first go round, you're holding your breath longer than you normally would be able to. So we pushed all of the carbon dioxide out of the body, holding it, holding it, holding it. And now, when you're ready, take a big, full, complete breath in. Fill every single cell of your body up all the way in, and then hold it. Squeeze the very bottom of the pelvic muscles. Squeeze the lower abdominal muscles, holding breath. Squeeze the upper abdominal muscles. Feel that pressure building higher and higher and higher all the way up the body. Keep your focus on the top, the very, very top of your head. As you're squeezing those muscles, hold it, and then let it go. And now go back. Full inhale. That was round one. Full exhale. Completely let it go. Full inhale all the way. Full exhale. Completely out. All the way in. Really pushing the limits of the body all the way out. Showing your body exactly what it's capable of. In and completely out. Keep going all the way in and all the way out. Probably starting to feel something a little bit different at this point. Just acknowledge all the sensations of the body as you keep going all the way in and all the way out. Let the body talk to you however it wants to talk to you. You're going to acknowledge the sensations, but you're going to keep going, determined all the way in and all the way out. And all the way in and all the way out. And that circular breathing where the inhale flows directly into the exhale, which flows directly into the inhale, which flows directly into the exhale. Any sort of tingliness, any sort of numbness, any sort of lightheadedness, you're just going to acknowledge is completely normal. It's by far the most popular and common thing to experience to this. Any other sensations, tingling or flow, just acknowledge them and keep going all the way in and all the way out at your own pace, fully experiencing the fullness of your breath all the way in and all the way out, going deeper and deeper than most people ever get in their entire life. Keep going all the way out. We got 4 more all the way in and all the way out. 3 more all the way in and all the way out. 2 more all the way in and all the way out. And last one, all the way in, complete in, and all the way out. Push every cell of your body, squeeze all of that air out and hold it. And keep holding it and relaxing every part of your body. Can you acknowledge, can you notice as you're holding your breath, where does the sensation of tension originate from? Where does the sensation of that anxiety, of that drive, of that, oh no, something needs to happen, where is the root of that? Where does that first start in the physical body? And then what parts of the physical body come on after that? And then after that, just acknowledge with curiosity as the tension builds up because the body is struggling to breathe, but we are just going to keep holding it and keep relaxing it and allowing the physical body to just rest, acknowledging those survival instincts as they come up, acknowledging the tension and the defensiveness, the drive for change as it comes up. And as we acknowledge it, yep, there you are. We're just melt and relax deeper and deeper. We respond to it with more and more relaxation. Go as long as you possibly can. In the event that you need and cannot physically, you notice your body just doing it all the way in, but then all the way out, but then hold it out again because we're still going. And if you're still holding your breath out, amazing. Good job for you. Keep going. We are more than halfway there. Holding the breath, acknowledging where and when the body struggles for survival, even though this is not a survival situation. This is just the acknowledgement of those old instinctual programs that we are in relationship with inside this body, that we are in relationship, but we're observing this body. We're acknowledging this mechanism that we have the privilege to experience life through. Now, all the way in, full inhale, complete inhale, all the way in, holding it at the very, very top, squeezing the bottom muscles, the intrinsic pelvic muscle, holding the bladder and the organs, squeezing the lower abdominal muscles, squeezing the upper abdominal, squeezing up the body, holding the intention, holding the attention at the very, very top of the head, squeezing the muscles tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter, and then let go. And last round, all the way in and all the way out. Don't let your body control you. All the way in and all the way out. The body's going to be feeling very different at this point. All the way in and all the way out. Complete full inhale, full expansion, full flow, all the way out. Full compression, full exhale, all the way in and all the way out and all the way in and all the way out and all the way in and all the way out. Keep going. And full flow in and full flow out, and complete inhale and complete exhale, and expanding the body as much as we can and compressing the body as much as we can. Draw in the space all around from the toes to the nose. Exhale, allowing that space to flow back out, and all the way in and all the way out and all the way in and all the way out and all the way in and all the way out. Keep going, all the way in and all the way out. Really get in there, all the way in and all the way out. Determination, all the way in and all the way out. We're almost done. All the way in and all the way out. Feel the momentum that's already been built up, in and all the way out. Keep going, all the way in and all the way out. And full inhale, full exhale, full expansion and full contraction. Last one, all the way in and all the way out. Keep going, all the way out. Hold it out. Relax the body, holding, not allowing any movement from any part of the body, melting deeper and deeper, letting go of the physical body and allowing every cell of the body to just be suspended in the space around it. Holding, relaxing, acknowledging when that tension, when that draw, when that anxiety, when that urge comes up. Where does it originate from? Just being aware. Every time we feel that urge, we feel that draw, we respond to it by letting go, by relaxing even more. This is a challenge which is not designed to be easy. Keep going. We're more than halfway there at this point. Relaxing deeper and deeper, allowing the support of the space around the body, allowing the physical structure of the body to hold every cell right where it needs to be, letting go and curious about what happens, where does the body go if we just totally and completely let go and allow the body to surrender, allow the body to be supported by the space around it and within it. Notice where that anxiety, notice where that tension, notice where that tightening comes from. Where does it spread to? What parts of the physical body seem to be a little bit more of a challenge to drop in? Now, full inhale. Bring it all the way in and hold it all the way in, tightening the muscles of the very, very bottom of the pelvis, tightening the lower abdominal muscles, tightening the upper abdominal muscles, squeezing the lower half of the body tighter and tighter, holding the attention at the very, very top of the head, but holding the tension at the lower portion of the body, squeezing those lower muscles, squeezing those lower muscles, squeezing those lower muscles, and now let go. And just be. Notice what's different about the physical body. Notice what's different about the thinking space. Notice what is different about the feeling space. Notice what's different about the emotional space. Feel the space around the body. Just acknowledge and experience and be aware of what's happening. Now, when you're ready, come back to the physical time and space. Wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, move the hands, move the ankles, move the knees, move the shoulders, move the hips, move the elbows, move the neck around, move the chest around. Go ahead and sit back up slowly. Be careful. This one's intense. And when you're ready, come back to the computer. And it's anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any comments? Does anybody have anything that they would like to share? You may, oh, here we go. Go for it, Amy.
Well, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
So great to hear you.
I noticed when you were doing your breathing in and out, you did it with tension. You did it like you could hear it, like.
Uh-huh. Yes.
So is that the way? Instead of just like to sort of.
No, that's tension too, Amy. I was doing it so you could actually hear my breath.
Oh, I see.
The point of me doing it was to actually make a sound. You don't need to make a sound, but typically whenever you go all out in your breathing, when you're full inhale and really full exhale, there will be a sound. There will be some tension that's involved in that.
Okay. Also, just because I've been sick, I already just already feel numb and a little washed out.
Yes.
And so with this exercise, it really made me feel so numb. And I mean, is that safe for me? Is that okay at this point?
It's very safe. It's very okay. I
Okay.
told you, and this is why I warned you at the beginning, you are going to experience a big difference. I mean, I am not totally convinced that the change in how you feel, the numbness, had anything to do with you being sick.
Right. Okay.
That would have happened anyway.
Sure.
Now,
Sure.
there's a little bit more fatigue going on, so you did have to struggle harder during this. It required a little
Sure.
more energy.
Uh-huh.
but really oxygenating your cells, getting all the carbon dioxide to be blown off is really one of the best things that you could do.
Okay.
To fight.
That's the way I feel. Okay. Yep.
Yes.
So
Yes.
how often can I do this exercise? Because I do think it's good for my lungs at this point.
Yeah, sure. Listen to your body. I mean, this is one
Okay.
of those things that this is breathing. You're not going to hurt yourself by breathing.
Okay.
Worst case scenario, if you hold your breath for too long, you will pass out. And then that part of your brain that takes over breathing, it's going to kick in. So don't worry. You're
Okay.
not going to hurt yourself with this.
Hurt
One of the things that I would recommend is to go to YouTube and to look up Wim Hof Binaural Beats.
Let me
And
write that down just a second. Here's a pen.
and you will find a few different guided meditations, and it utilizes some brain synchronizing music and sounds
Nice.
during
Okay.
this to help out with this. That's one of the things that I utilize,
Okay.
and or a lot of the inspiration from this.
Okay. Connie, do you mind writing that down? That Wim Hof?
Wim W. Here,
I'm actually looking up a video for you right now. That's what I was doing. So I'll post
Okay.
it.
Great. Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, that's very, I love that, Tad. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So, anybody else have any thoughts, have any comments, have anything that they would love to share? Anything that they experienced? This was probably a pretty intense one for most of us. So hopefully we all experienced something. But is there any experiences that you would be willing to share with others?
So this video that I just posted is just Wim Hof guiding us through the exercise again. And then Tad, do you know a specific one that is the binaural beats? Breathing meditation music Wim Hof method here. I found it. Okay. And then I was also going to say that at the beginning of this, just even when we started the hemisphere balancing, I had too much coffee this morning.
You needed that hemisphere balancing, huh?
Right. Yeah. So I made coffee and then my buddy Adam brought me like espresso. And I was like, oh, dang it. And so when we started, I was like, I don't know if I can handle this. And at first when we were doing the balancing, I was like, I couldn't even breathe. And then I was able to hold it. And then I feel more calm now after the breathing method than I did before, for sure. Like, I feel like that just like totally balanced me out.
Yep.
And it's this nice, like, calm, but I still feel like very alert and energetic.
Yes.
And I noticed when we were done that I still wasn't breathing. Like, I still, when I was laying there, it took me a long time before my body even wanted to breathe again naturally.
Yes. Yep. And that's because you have a lot more oxygen. So the body's like, I don't necessarily need to breathe. But yes, that calm, clear, but energized sensation, that is the energy rich sensation. It's energized, there's energy, but it's coherent energy rather than chaotic energy. So awesome. Okay. So Barbara, go for it. Oh, Barbara, I can't hear you. It shows that you're unmuted. No, Barbara, I don't know. Something might be going wrong with the microphone.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, it's just I have a mess with cameras and stuff.
Yes.
So I was going to say, like, now it makes sense when you said is the calm, clear, energized, because my feeling at the end was like, now I'm addicted to this.
Yes.
That's how I felt. So it was like awesome. And the experiences were like many, that I like many of them. But at the beginning, the sensation was mostly at the throat, like kind of like this choking thing, and then it moved. When I felt like I needed to breathe.
Yeah.
But then it was not as strong as we did more exercise, like more
Yes.
times.
Yep.
and it also moved a little bit to the heart. And then, I mean, it was nice to feel that it could move. Yes. So
Good.
yeah.
And you'll notice that the more and more you do this type of breath work, the longer and longer you'll be able to hold your breath. In some of the exercises that I do, the guided ones with the music, they do that for a full 2.5 minutes, and I'm able just recently to actually make it that entire time without needing to take a breath. So just be patient with yourself, be compassionate with yourself, and allow your body to be where it is. But you will notice the more and more you do this, the more progress you're going to be able to make. So thank you.
Oh, I noticed something too.
Yes.
I'll share this because it was like this understanding of the different, like my different choices and
Good.
how that creates like the different situations.
Yeah.
It came from that like being there.
Yes.
So that was also very interesting. Like I don't know how to explain, but
Yes.
I mean, it sounds very obvious, but it's actually the experience of,
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's an experience of that, which most people only have a concept of that. And really, it's the experience that rewires and changes the body. It's not the concept. It's nice to have a concept to help us to recognize that there is the possibility of an experience. But if you just get the experience, the concept is totally unnecessary. So thank you. That's awesome. Amory.
Hi.
Go for it.
So I've had a lot of pain this week. Pretty intense. It's kind of inflammation response. And that helped a lot. It's better than it's been all week. And I mean, nothing has seemed to touch it. But that cleared a lot of it out. I'm pretty
This
right
gets a lot of the lymphatics moving. This gets a lot of the cerebrospinal fluid moving, and getting those two types of fluid moving in the body is really key to allowing the body to be able to turn off the inflammatory response, on top of how alkalizing this is to the blood and the lymph and the cerebrospinal fluid. So inflammation is a very acidic state. So the more and more we can push our body to alkaline, the easier it's going to be to handle that state. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
All right, Amy, you had something else?
Okay, one more thing.
Yep.
This has really stirred up the pain in my chest and upper stomach.
Yes.
And made me cough more. Now that's probably a good thing, right?
It is. Yes.
Okay.
So like I said, go outside, get some direct sunshine, drink lots of water. Don't push yourself too hard in this.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Unless anybody else has any thoughts, concerns, curiosities, Rob said that he would like to see some more guided visuals and connection to the universe or energy, and we can definitely do that in the future. Today, we really just wanted to introduce this concept, and in the future, we will be building upon this concept. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Love seeing you guys. As always, please share the links to this. Go to our YouTube page, subscribe. If you feel called, go to our website, www.organiclivingchiropractic.com, and donate. And we will keep these moving forward until the end of the stay-at-home order. And after that, we'll keep going, except we're going to do it on a little bit of a different frequency, a little bit of different schedule. So thanks again, everyone, for showing up. We love you, and we will see you tomorrow, if not sooner.
Bye-bye.